All right, what's up, everybody? We're live. We got the Knights of the Crypto Table, episode 10. So today it'll be myself, Motley Investor, Crypto Coffee. We're going to just be having a Hexican hangout. We can cover a lot of topics, any topics that come to mind, but the topics that come to mind for me are the Hex Vegas, the Ethereum hard fork that Richard's doing with Hex, and then just some other things as well. So without further ado, let me just start out the intro, and then we'll bring everyone on.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Yeah. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. Balliet Brand.
Okay, what's up, everybody? It's Balliet Brand. I'm going to bring on Crypto Coffee and Motley Investor. We got episode 10, like I mentioned earlier, of the Knights of the Crypto Table. So without further ado, what's up, guys?
What's up, Brad?
Man.
Hey, great to see everyone.
Yeah,
thank you for being here. And
I was thinking the same thing, Coffee. You pounded your desk like 10 times, Brad, and your mic went off.
Really? Okay.
No, it's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
maybe-
It's all good.
In the future, when you go to I'm assuming you have like a boom arm or something like that, right?
Let me turn down my gain because it's actually at like 160 something gain. So let me turn it down a little bit because this is a new mic. So
Yeah,
I do appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, no, I was just saying next time when you go to set up your mic, you can clamp the boom arm to something that's not your main desk. So that way when you do accidentally bump it, you're not going to reverb as bad. I wouldn't sweat.
I'll see if I can do that. Okay. Well, yeah, appreciate it. We're all progressing, as we stream every day, and that's the cool thing about the Hexican family is we can all, give each other feedback on what to improve. So I do appreciate that, and thanks, guys, for being here. We got just so much stuff that's happening lately in Hex, and it's just, been here since day one and been here since before day one, and every day it gets more exciting for me. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? I see everyone talking about Vegas, so I know Vegas is on the tip of everyone's tongue.
Totally.
Good thing all our Hex is locked up for 15 years, so we can't touch that.
We can definitely start off with that. Since we got the topic in the comments, if we go to
Johnny says the no beard is freaking him out. Sorry, Johnny.
Oh, for you?
Okay,
5
cool.
o'clock
Yeah,
shadow.
just yeah.
Yeah, you look good, Matt.
Gay?
Vegas meetup, huh?
So yeah, this is the I think it's Hexican.Vegas is the URL. But
I like how in order to avoid the copyright on the logo, they just added more things to it.
Yeah. I noticed that. I was like, is that even necessary? Maddie, just put the damn logo on there. I don't think Richard cares that much. People are going to be confused now. They see this, I don't see this logo on Nomics.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's going to be good. Maddie's doing a big undertaking there, and RG3 as well.
Yep.
It's not going to be easy to set something like that up.
When's June 24th to the 27th? So do you guys think you're gonna be attending? Have you guys decided?
I already requested the time off today, so I got the 23rd off and I got the 28th off. So I'm gonna take a couple extra days just to prepare. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there. I didn't get to meet. I didn't get to make the Florida one, and I told myself that the next time we have a Hex convention and meetup, that I'll be there. So I'll totally be there.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really have much going on. It doesn't seem like. I can probably make it, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to swing it too. Should be fun. It'll only be my second time in Vegas, so the first time was pretty fun. So I imagine the second time with a massive group of Hexicans, it's probably gonna be even better.
Let's try to survive.
Yeah, just try to survive. Try to hold on to your keys. Try not to. Yeah, there's a lot of like have a good time, but not die at the end of it. Essentially, make your way back out of Vegas is the end goal.
Right.
Intact financially and physically.
Well, the cool thing is we've got enough time to prepare, right? It's about 3 months away from tomorrow, and it's cool that Maddie is giving us enough time to kind of plan and maybe request a time off if we are able to make it. So I'm definitely excited to see everyone there, and Maddie already has as we can go to the URL right here. Maddie already kind of has some stuff that if people want to join, they definitely can. We got the first Hex Mass Meetup, so it's going to be in obviously Las Vegas, June 24th, and then if we scroll down a smidge, so it's going to start at 4 p.m. Las Vegas time, and it's going to start at the top of the Strat. So that's the place that's got like this bungee jumping and some of the other things. So it'll be cool.
Be nice eating dinner, just watching a Hexican like jump off as as we have our dinner.
I sure as hell won't, dude. That shit scares the fuck out of me, but you guys please do.
So I used to love doing that shit, but now that I have giant bags of Hex, it's not as appealing to me anymore. Like, man, if that cable goes, I got a lot more to live for these days. I might still give it a shot, though. We'll see. Maybe after a few drinks, I'll say fuck it.
Yeah, that shit's terrifying. I've done skydiving and bungee jumping, and I gotta say, bungee jumping is way scarier because you gotta jump on your own. Yeah. With at least with skydiving, you got someone on your back, and he's like, "Hey, I got you."
Kinda. I mean, you still have to make that initial like pull out. I was kind of like worried I was gonna like clip the tail wing when I was like going out or something stupid. I remember the first time I actually went skydiving. It seems pretty simple, right? Because like Coffee said, you got someone on your back, you have someone to like walk you through the instructions step by step. But it's weird until you get into that environment, you don't really, even the simplest instructions become, you just don't think about them in the moment. Like I remember when I jumped out, like everything was such a rush and hits you at once. Like I couldn't remember the two simple things of like, all right, you have to go out now. You have to put your arms and legs out. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's easy. I was like, I don't understand why people forget to do that stuff. And the first time I went, I was just like, I literally forgot everything. The dude's like tapping me on the shoulder, like, bro, like put your shit out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like, God damn it. Now I'm one of those people that couldn't follow the simple instructions. But it's in like an intense environment like that. If you've never done it before, it's kind of weird how everything just kind of goes out the window your first go.
Definitely. It's easier said than done. Like holding Hex for a long period of time.
Well, luckily the code assists you, just like the guy on your back assists you.
I know. It's actually really not that hard, to be honest. Like, it's probably one of the easiest things to hold. I get so stressed out when I hold any other coin nowadays, man. Like, I told some people already, I was holding on to a little bit of quick swap token, and it was just stressing me out for like almost a month. I was like, this shit sucks. And I'm over that. I'm over that garbage. Just so everyone knows, I'm not a fan, and just be careful out there, guys. Be careful. I feel bad because I don't think I promoted the token, but some people probably bought that token if I bought it.
It was the liquidity pair in Hex, and I did the same thing, and I think you and I both bought in close to the peak, and then it just drastically dropped off, and just it's just like you said, it's just not good for your mental health, and it reminds you. It's kind of nice that, I mean, obviously you're gonna pay with your lumps and scars, but it's kind of refreshing to be like, oh yeah, that's why we're here. Like, this shit is not fun. This shit's stressful. Like, no,
Yeah.
thank you. It's not
So
worth it.
I bought a little bag of Hex with my remaining what I had left, and
Yeah.
I'm just so much more. I feel like I can breathe again now that I've
Yep.
got something stable and secure, and
Yeah.
something with so much going on. But I mean, like, have you seen the chart? Even the chart from a technical perspective seems pretty good.
Yeah, it looks so good. Like, I ate my loss again. Just another little scar reminder, and feel so much better. So much better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
You know,
leave the DJ stuff for Vegas coming up. Set aside some money for that.
Good.
speaking of chart, this is just the version 1, but uniswap.hex.vision, and this time we got the black background. But I mean, we're definitely doing good, and if we actually go back to version 2, I guess that's the most relevant. But we're at 1.24 pennies. So I definitely agree. It's amazing. I mean, it's cool to see that Hex has been like consolidating for quite a while now, and it's awesome to see the momentum and the energy just coiling up. I mean, we haven't seen any bearish social media and things like that. It's just kind of been like a lot of us are accumulating, and it seems that we could definitely be at the cusp of a breakout, just like we were last year around this time.
Yeah, we can go either way right now. Like, I think we could still potentially take maybe one last dip, or we could just take off and never come back to these levels again. Like, we could already be at that point that we just never see Hex drop below 1 cent again. Like, we could actually be there, and there's just not that many more hands that have to sell. Like, we've seen these wallets. Most of these wallets are gone. It's pretty much, I think we're at consensus where pretty much everyone's buying at around 1 cent, and like this might be it. Unfortunately, as much, it's weird because you want the price to go up, but like for me, I've been in accumulation phase since day one, so it's kind of hard. It's like it's kind of hard to let go of this. Like, for me, it's such a mental block of like that 1 cent. I don't really want to leave it because I can still buy around this area and feel comfortable. But then again, it's just about shifting your mindset, especially for us that have been in the beginning. You have to understand, like, this is still very cheap and good entry points into Hex.
Yeah, I wonder how much longer we're going to see a penny. It's
Might not be.
I have no idea. Like, when we go up, I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those pumps that we never come back from. Kind of like the 0.0002 one.
Yep.
It's going to be like
Real quick,
big,
we do have another guest joining us looking to crypto, so I just want to add him in real quick.
Oh, perfect.
What's up, my friend?
How's it going, guys?
What's up, bro?
Pretty
Great,
good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, cool.
You haven't missed much. We've just been talking about the Vegas trip, and then just kind of talking about where Hex is right now, above 1 cent. Whether or not we actually ever see Hex go below 1 cent again, or are we at that price floor?
Yeah, I would say there's a much higher likelihood we're at the price floor. I mean, you can only get so many chances. So, what I think is going to happen is, I'm gonna keep the charts. I'm gonna keep it entirely based on speculation because I want to see whales that try to optimize their returns get fucking murdered and lose their stacks. That's what I want to see.
Wasabi's here to clean up the streets, everyone. New whale incoming.
Street sweeper,
Street sweeper. Collecting everybody's Hex. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I think we're really coiled. I think we're essentially ready for one of those expansion phases that you were talking about a while back. Like, I think we're getting there. We're close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's gonna be multiple. There's gonna be subwaves that go to that where.
Right.
I suspect there's going to be further drainage of people that think they're selling the top, and then it ends up going higher. So,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere from 4 to 10 cents. Somebody posted a link of some TA trader guy on Twitter, talking about Hex and just how great it looked from a TA perspective. And I don't know that guy's name because I don't really follow any traders really on social media. I don't need that in my life, but he seemed like a good one, like well-spoken. I'm just wondering if anybody knows his name, if he was like big or not.
Was he a crypto guy? Was he just general trader or?
Yeah, it looked like he was a crypto guy talking about Hex and had a chart up and was giving price predictions of like 4 cents to 10 cents or something like that.
How recent was this?
It would be
Today.
a kind of cool concept to just like show the Hex chart to just like traditional traders and like see what they think of the chart and where they think like the movements are going to be moving forward. It'd be cool to see like someone in the traditional world start doing that without realizing what they're actually charting or what they're looking at.
Yeah, the problem with like a lot of, well, this is why it's kind of a losing battle trying to trade is like really what traders end up doing is they pull up charts on 4-hour time frames and then they'll draw like this line. It's like imaginary resistance line, which tends to work on really low time frames because they're all really what's happening is you have traders that are basically trying to trade against each other, but then the moment you get like these breakouts and things like that, they end up missing the majority of the moves. So I agree with his sentiment though that from a TA perspective, I do think the price chart on Hex looks amazing from a TA perspective, and that's where I'm not. Yeah, there's something really cool I found looking at the price chart for Hex that I'm just quite frankly like not going to really give insight on it.
Don't give too much away.
I want to see. Yeah, I actually really want to see certain wallets get drained and sell too early. So the Hex trading telegram is going to be keeping track of all that stuff. I just occasionally I'll poke it and see what kind of chain analysis the guys are actually doing, but they pretty much have track of everything on there.
He'll publish the charts once once the main events are over and he's right.
Yeah,
don't worry, you can show it to me and I'll verify.
it's a pretty incredible. It's the TA is pretty incredible. That's I'll definitely mention that. So
it's awesome.
Speaking of TA, I think it's Mitch Ray was the guy that Coffee might have been alluding to, but I actually kind of watched his stream right at the tail end because Hexologist was still live and I was tuning into that. But it's really cool to see that maybe people towards the beginning of Hex they kind of shit talked it and they didn't have, they kind of had more emotions as opposed to like facts. But Hex has really shown itself over the past, over almost a year and almost and a half days, and it's really done well, and it's cool to see people coming back to it and not just completely dismissing it.
Yeah, they can't run away forever. I mean, a lot of them they think they know and they're gonna act like they didn't talk shit, but I've seen people that are nice to us now that talked a lot of shit and acted like it never happened.
Yep, we'll see more of that too as time goes on, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Good to see you look into crypto. How you doing today, man?
Doing great, Brand. How are you? He's busy charting right now.
My bad. My mic was muted there. So yeah, not too bad. I would say I'm just enjoying the bull market, I guess. We'll just let I guess for now, like I'm mostly just watching the movements on Bitcoin and Ethereum to see. It doesn't really matter. Hex is kind of decoupled, so it's going to do its own thing, more or less. But for the rest,
I'm looking at it right now. It's all red besides Hex.
Yeah, yeah. That's the same thing that. Yeah, the same thing happened. The first really big cycle for Hex too. It basically it had its move when everything was dying, basically, in the market. Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing when you're looking at like these sites like Nomics, like how clearly that shows when everyone else is right. And that's why I think one of the big reasons that Hex is going to do so well in the bear market, it's just like a flag and just a sea of death when Hex is just a bright green candle, just like, hey, plus 20% while everything else is just dying. Now, when we actually get into, it's going to be dependent on if we get into other ones like Coin Market Crap and CoinGecko. I don't know if we'll ever get there. I honestly hope that nomics.com just kind of replaces them as the number one source where we're actually represented correctly.
Last night, Clay and Richard Hart, Clay, the co-founder, I believe, of Nomics, they were kind of talking. And anyways, it's pretty cool to see other people, even if they're not like participating in, the Hexican community and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that are observing quietly from the side, and they're just seeing, man, these Hexicans and Hex.com is really making a scene, and it's cool to see that slowly but surely, man. Just like the chart right now is kind of winding up like a coiled spring. It's about ready to take off, in my opinion. And I agree to Wasabi look into crypto that we're almost mimicking a fractal of last year around this time, and around April is really when we kicked ass and never went back to that price again. So it'd really be cool to see the same thing with the penny. I mean, we've hovered around here for such a long time, and I think a lot of Hexicans have their bags ready, and it's just a matter of time before mass adoption and the start of the S curve happens. I mean, Richard Hart and Lex Friedman are a possible podcast soon in the future, maybe, and then we got the fork, Hex forking Ethereum, and just a lot of other things that are really exciting.
Yeah, hey Blue Bum, that combo was on the Hex chat, live chat, like the voice chat. Just so you know, gets pretty good sometimes.
I was about to say, did anyone catch a majority of that conversation? Unfortunately, I missed it. And then I do like the voice chat, but that's one of the downsides is it's not recorded. So if you don't catch it live, you miss out on great conversations like Richard Hart and Clay discussing censorship. Did anyone catch like a majority of that conversation? Did they hit on any key points or?
I mean, it was a short combo. It's pretty much beating the dead horse over and over again. Why do people think Hex is a scam? Because they can't think for themselves, and because I think Richard said the original sin was being honest and admitting that it was a crypto designed to go up in value. That he one point Clay asked him, so why did everyone hate Hex, and why do people still call it a scam? He was like, well, honestly, I think it was because I was straightforward and said that this is designed to increase in price, and I mean, that might have been part of it. I think another part of it, the initial stigma was probably everyone was so freshly wrecked from the bear market and just on edge. And, I don't know if I agree with the whole marketing it to look like a scam to get people that would get into a scam in there, like that whole strategy. I mean, I guess it worked for some people, but then it's like the people that it worked for weren't the people that you wanted in your community, right? Like your Trayvon Jameses and stuff, but whatever.
And it's like the tweet Richard put out today too. It's traditional finance calls and continues to call Bitcoin a scam. That narrative is finally starting to shift a little bit. Bitcoin maxis called Ethereum a scam. Ethereum calls everything else a scam. And it turns out people just want to label stuff as scams when it essentially just threatens their bag. So when you have something new and innovative come on the space and it threatens your position, threatens what you're holding, and people's money's on the line, turns out they don't need to do any research. They don't need to actually figure out if a project's good or not. They just feel threatened, so they attack. And it's just kind of a natural instinct for a lot of people.
Makes me wonder if people played this dirty in the early days of the Silicon Valley internet boom. And I know they probably do today, judging by, just the TV show, Silicon Valley. But also, I mean, people are always at each other's throats. It's business, right? At the end of the day, crypto is as decentralized as we pretend it is. It's just different businesses, different leaders, and different, we can treat the community like a company. I think we should be running the community a little bit more like a company. I'm kind of tired of fucking people just like acting like they don't represent Hex wherever they go. Like if you're on Twitter, don't just go call someone a fuckface. Like think about it before you talk.
Yeah. I think what we're running into is it's kind of like a land grab, right? So just like when the internet and the .com bubble, it's the new innovative thing. Like everyone's rushing to get out there. Like clearly it's going to be the future. So everyone that's here now is you're trying to grab up as much space, as much eyeballs as you can. So
Yeah.
we're in the same thing with the crypto space now. It's where the financial markets, it's where everything's ultimately, I believe, leading to. So it's just like a cutthroat, eat your lunch kind of space right now, where everyone's just trying to garner as many eyeballs and promote their bag essentially as the bag to rule them all, when it's really not the case. A lot of cryptocurrencies have their own use case. Like Richard said, there's not one coin that does everything. Just it can't.
Yeah, but here's what's going to make Hex win, right? It's product market fit, and it's playing a long-term game when everyone else is, competing for those eyeballs and just to be the little star of the show for, an hour or two or a couple weeks. Hex is playing a totally different game, and so it's designed and being built for the customer and for the user, right? So people that don't focus on their product, they focus on hype and announcements and partnerships, they're going to get wrecked in the long run. So I think what Hex is doing with the new side chain and with Hex Scale, whatever you want to call it, all this innovation going around it, it's creating a better product to address what users actually want. And it's pretty simple. They don't want fees. They don't want high fees. And they want fast, cheap, free, instantaneous transactions. So fast and cheap. That's really all. Fast, cheap, easy to use, one-stop shop app. You got Staker app. A way for big money to get in. You got Hex Scale. And hopefully to solve the fee problem, you're going to have Hex Chain or whatever it is. In the intermediary, though, I think Optimism will start to solve some of the Uniswap stuff. And I think a lot of people are going to realize that when Optimism rolls out after May 5th, so May 5th is the date. So mark your calendars, guys, because, Uniswap is going to start shifting around, doing things a little differently. I think that a lot of projects are going to kind of start using using Optimism. And so when they go over to Optimism, some portion of the L1 bloat on the blockchain is going to be lifted up just by people experimenting on this other thing, right? So I think we'll see we'll see, because there's also the factor of it's so much hype that it's bringing in new money too and new activity on L1, and you have to go to L1 to get to L2. So, we'll see if it actually lowers gas at all. If anything, it might lower Uniswap trading fees, which would be half the problem. But then the other half is starting your stake and ending your stake.
The only thing with that is, I know from the thread that I saw Uni release today, it looks like they have plans for Optimism Layer 2 to come into play, but it's not going to get deployed at the launch of V3. They said it's to follow soon after, and I always question everyone's to follow timelines, because usually it's still not as quick as we'd hope. But it's good that they're keeping it in mind. But I'll be curious to see how quickly they actually are able to scale in Optimism into V3.
Yeah, I think long term, realistically, because as Ethereum moves more and more to L2, you still have to assume that as more and more people enter the space, because it really, what it does is it just gives you it gives the potential for somebody else to use the block space later on, and effectively that is always going to get filled up. Wherever you, at a certain point where you hit, whenever you have any kind of block space available, Ethereum is going to fill up that block space over time. So it's L1 in my mind is naturally going to have high gas fees unless they go into it goes into the part where you basically need to have shards to ultimately have. It's almost like these little mini Ethereum chains where certain ones could be devoted to a specific purpose or something like that. So you could have a shard that's specifically for DeFi stuff, things like that, that help out with the scaling. But for the time being, I'm more optimistic on a separate side chain where you can do things like manage your stakes on that separate side chain, and then if you want access to the liquidity on Ethereum, you have the option to move it over if you want with bridging and all that. So either way, you either have the side chain or a shard to solve a lot of the problems there around gas fees. So it's not a permanent issue. It's going to get solved with one of those. What it looks like in this case, the side chain. So,
Yeah, it never was
just
a
an easier
permanent
solution.
issue. I think
Yeah.
that what Richard's probably thinking of is always a few levels ahead, right? So
Mhm.
we're all talking about the hype of right now and how optimism is going to temporarily be a little bit better, and how ETH 2 might theoretically totally solve the problem, but it might not practically solve the problem. And you still have the social aspect of gatekeeping and a lot of the censorship that we've seen from these VCs and how they don't want to include Hex in their token lists, on their DeFi Pulse or whatever it might be. It's totally against censorship resistance, which Ethereum was built for, and it's happening again, right? So you're starting to have the powers that be just picking and choosing the projects they like and ignoring everything else. So I think part of what the new chain is going to do is be a truly censorship resistant chain to everything Hex related, right? And then that said, obviously the Hex chain can censor random shit like NFTs if we don't want that on our chain.
Yep.
But it's just all a big game of choose which moral high ground you want to stand on.
Well, Richard even mentioned it that if he did censor it, that kind of wouldn't be like decentralized, So he kind of alluded to by saying that a lot of stuff could coexist on the new fork of Ethereum, and it's just really cool to see that this is something that could really bridge Hex with a lot of other crypto communities, And Richard even mentioned specifically that he didn't want to name it specifically Hex related because it might kind of sour the the image of it, and it's really awesome to see him kind of taking this opportunity and putting Hex on a new chain, which is going to be a fork of Ethereum. I think it's really cool.
I wonder if he'll be able to get any more 3-letter domain names. I'm pretty sure they're running out of those.
Probably could.
But knowing him, he's probably got a couple in his back pocket.
I'm trying to think of what 3-letter one you would do, but no, like what you were saying earlier, Coffee, it reminds me of the last video you put out. It's nice once you start vertically integrating everything. Hex is slowly getting to the point where we're going to have our own chain. We have our own contract. We have potentially a new heart scale in the future if Grayscale continues not to list Hex. And once everything becomes vertically integrated, like, oh my God, Hex is just going to be unstoppable.
You have a mobile app, iOS and Android. You got MetaMask, and like obviously MetaMask is like a neutral thing, but that works on everything. You're gonna have, you could just clone a swapping
stakes for traditional finance world, just everything.
Yeah,
everything's covered.
Right.
You can clone Uniswap, and at least V2 you can clone. I don't know about V3. Maybe you can clone it.
Probably.
Yeah, Hex really is addicting. I mean, so before actually, it was right on the Uniswap airdrop, right? The Uni. I had a few addresses that were able to claim, and instead of just like switching it into Hex and just staking that for myself, I actually took that opportunity because I was in abundance to create wallets for my girlfriend, the mom, the dad, the whole family, right? And what I'm alluding to is it's cool that Hex is actually a gift. It's something that can make you so prosperous that you've got the cup overfloweth, right? You can give it to people. And I think gas fees right now are a very temporary thing, but it's awesome to see. And I mentioned this specifically because my stepdad, I gave him like $100 worth of Hex and then some Ethereum too, right during that airdrop. And now he's like, Brian, I'm on Staker app, seeing how much interest this is gaining every day. And now I want to throw X amount more dollars in. And it's really cool. It really is addicting. I mean, people are looking for that opportunity of a safe haven. Hex really is that.
Yeah. I mean, our USD is getting printed into nothingness. So everyone's looking for that next asset that, is either going to price appreciation or not only has price appreciation, but also generates you a yield as well. And super compounding, as the community likes to call it. Like Hex offers you all of that and more.
Yes, my cup overfloweth as well, Michael. Indeed. Can you believe people used to talk like that? Corey says, Hex is building the on-ramp for everyday investor with apps and live streams and websites full of great content. Fuck yeah, dude. That's why I put in Hex streamers as a little resource in the back of my course, just so that if people do come in new to Hex and they want to get acquainted with us influencers, pick whichever ones they like the best, and maybe shit on everyone else, then they can do that. They can do that. They can pick whoever they like. Hexstreamers.com.
Totally. And it's abundance mentality, right? Hex has so many passionate people. I mean, I wasn't one of the first people to join the streams, right? It was Hexo, and then Hexologist, he inspired RG3. And then RG3 got in, and maybe, I've said this story before, but maybe like, I don't know, like a month and a half into it, I realized, hey, this Discord Syndicate F and Hangout thing, I might be nervous because I haven't streamed in actually forever. I didn't stream, I just made videos, but it was like stepping out of my own comfort zone to join people that had similar like-minded interests. And it's awesome to see like how much when you mention adoption and when you mention kind of like the network effect, it's awesome to see how much it's started to spread just now. And imagine 1, 2, 3 years from now. I mean, there's a lot of Hexicans that have already been made millionaires thanks to Hex and thanks to this amazing certificate of deposit and product. And just imagine how many more people like David Feeder will be able to get out of student loan debt and be able to get out of things that were burdening them in the past.
Brand, you have like one of the most successful YouTube channels out of anyone in Hex. You got like more views on like your Smuckers or whatever your PB&J video was, and like it shows you how small the crypto space is.
You should go back to that. You should go back to that and just put Hex on, like, just do fun stuff. Just put Hex on like, the PB&J.
Yeah, put it in the back, hex.com, just like put your little subliminal messaging in the background, but come up with like little creative videos like you did back in the day, because technically your videos have more views than anyone else.
Yeah, that's more powerful in a weird way.
It is.
Cool. It's all about doing things that you're passionate about. And, when I first started making YouTube videos, first off, I was a huge consumer of it first. And then I realized, hey, I'm doing something similar, or hey, I've always liked documenting things with my phone, or back in the day, a camera. And it's really cool to film things personally. It's like an expression, just like any other art is. But even the most simple stuff that's unedited, that's raw, can be really cool to observe and to watch many years later. And it's awesome to see that I guess people enjoyed it, and there's always feedback, positive or negative, but we can always learn from that. And for me personally, like if I had 0 views, I still like the idea that this is on the internet and this is documented forever.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned is that it really was pretty important for all of us to just get on camera. I know for me personally, I could say that getting on camera is not something that I was comfortable with at all over a year ago when Hex launched. And my first couple of videos were super cringe because, I'm talking like I'm really, really careful about what I'm saying. And I am careful about what I'm saying. Like I think before I talk, but I was like extra careful and I wasn't really being myself, and, it's really made me a lot more just, I guess, confident in front of being in camera and maybe in the real world as well. I think it definitely spills over because your ability to think on your feet and explain things as you're talking, and there's distractions happening around you, and, there's a live chat going on, or you're trying to get a point across. You really need to clarify it in your head. You need to like visualize these bullet points in your head. And to get a point across eloquently is something that I was okay at before, but I think I got a lot better. And I could even see it during work, right? Like I'm working, I'm on conference calls, and I'm just able to articulate my points a lot better. So I would reach out to anybody in the chat who's thinking about doing that. Doesn't even have to be for Hex though either. I know we have almost like we have enough Hex content out there, but if you have an interesting spin on it, and if you have a cool take and you really got something to say, I say go for it. You know what I mean? Michael Hex says, I love potato chips and bubble gum. Maybe, maybe you could do an ASMR video of you eating chips.
Like
and
an awful combination.
You could eat some chips, chew the gum.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't even have to be on Hex. Just like we were telling Brand, do what you're passionate about. Obviously, everyone's passionate about Hex, but do what you're passionate about and put your little Hex innuendos in the background if you want to. There's ways to stealthily promote it throughout whatever content you're making. Like, what was it today? I know Children of the Grave talked about it. DJ Cryptomatic is a Hexican, and he had a live stream today where he was just mixing mixing away. Just it was cool. Like I listened to it for like 20 minutes. Yeah, and he's got
that.
on his mixer, he's got the Hex logo on it too. So
No
when he takes
shit,
off,
really?
yeah. So when he takes off a new vinyl or takes off a vinyl, like you just see the Hex logo spinning. It looked nasty.
Yeah,
I was
check
just
this
like,
guy
Shoots
out.
almost every day.
I'm gonna Google him right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen him in the chats before. I knew he was a DJ, but
he goes on Twitch. He goes on Twitch a lot. So
all right.
you'll be able to find his stuff on Twitter. But yeah, he was streaming today, and like I hopped in for like, I think this is like the only second time, but like I was like, man, this is really cool. And like he doesn't have to sit there and promote Hex or anything like that, but it's there, right? He's got it on like the back screen of his computer, and he's got it on his mixer. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and if people ask about it, you can just say, hey, it's something that changed my life, and it's offering me a new route to financial freedom. It's kind of like this new investment class. It's a digital CD. Look into it. And you don't have to shill it that hard. Just be like, yeah, this thing got me rich. That's all you got to say.
And
like
that's
it's almost like if you undersell it, you almost sell it more.
Exactly, because they have to come across that information for themselves. Like it's much more valuable to them when they discover it and they fall down that rabbit hole themselves instead of you trying to shove them into it. When they actually fall into the hole, then they're much more willing to continue to do research, and they want to invest, and they're more invested into the actual process of learning more about Hex than you trying to force feed it down their throats.
It's just like any product that's legitimate and that actually does better for the world. My dad used to always say, like, business is like a two-sided thing, right? It's got to be like a win-win, not just a win-lose. And so many people, they're used to that like win-lose scenario and getting screwed over. And like Bitfinesse mentions, Hex really is so good that, it kind of sells itself. I mean, when you can, the problem is most people, they're not educated, right? They're not educated how not only crypto works, but how the like traditional fiat financial system works. And so you kind of have to give them like a lesson on how the world actually works, and then kind of tell them why crypto is beneficial, and then be like, hey, this is the second most popular product at your bank, and it's just like the newer generation of it. And like I said, my stepdad, he got Staker app that I sent him, and he's really interested. He wants to put more money in. And then same thing with my grandpa. I recently was like, man, I never use Facebook. I'm kind of done with this. And I've been done with it for, many, many years. But my grandpa, I finally decided, hey, you know what? I'll stream on Facebook. Maybe my family and friends can kind of hear about it. My grandpa's like, Brand, what's this thing you're streaming about? And I kind of told him, because he had given me and my brothers savings bonds growing up for our birthdays and for Christmas. Told him it was kind of like a newer generation, but a cryptocurrency similar to what Bitcoin did. And the light bulb really clicks. You just have to be able to kind of demonstrate to them what it is, what it does, and why it's necessary.
Yeah, totally, man. Children of the Grave said, DJ Cryptomatic used to sample my voice. Now I gotta check this guy out. I mean, come on. That's so badass.
Uses you for the drop.
Yeah, I hope he like spice it up a little bit. I can be a little monotone sometimes, especially right now, man. I'm fucking tired.
I'm sure
Twitch.
he could jazz it up.
Twitch. I'm trying to load this page and it's not loading. I'll check him out later. Oh, there he is. Nice.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, Corey. I think me, Bran, and Coffee pretty much, as of now, our schedules are open, so we're planning on probably attending Vegas at some point.
Yeah,
what about you looking to crypto? Have you seen this Vegas trip and everything like that? Have you thought about maybe going over there? I know you're in California, so it's not too much of a haul for you.
So I've seen it come up on, well, I guess through just the DMs on Twitter. I'm not too familiar with it. So wait, what's going on exactly in Vegas?
Matty Allen is orchestrating a Hexican meetup in Vegas on where are the dates, Bran?
So it's June 24th through the 27th. I'm actually going to pull it up since I'm looking to crypto. I wasn't here earlier, but it's Hexican.Vegas. And, thank you to Matty Allen or Matty Allen for first off hosting the first Hex conference, which was done, I think it was January 3rd through, it was something with 369. So it was in January of this year. And then that was all digital and online, but this is going to be something similar except more exponential and in person. So this is kind of the itinerary. It's Hexican.Vegas, and I'll put the link in the chat for you guys as well. But it's going to be a great time. You know, those that can make it, great. Those that can't, that's totally fine. I'm sure we'll get a lot of content and do some live streams. I'll do it with anyone that's comfortable to be on camera. And it's going to be awesome. I mean, I think a lot of us, I was watching Whales Only, Maddie, All In. They're actually live now. I was watching their quant gang, and they're like, man, you know, a lot of us are ready to get out and meet each other and kind of have an excuse to do something fun. And if you've had, you know, if you've been in Hex for any length of time, you can probably make it to the conference and maybe justify that. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone that can make it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a pretty good turnout if I had to bet. So you think you're gonna go look into crypto? I don't know what you got planned around that timeline.
Yeah, so I'm it's totally possible because I'm still kind of planning what my summer trips are gonna look like because I did want to stop in North Carolina, possibly take a trip out to really the big question really is Europe. That's still kind of in the air right now, depending on what the rules and just the overall situation is in Europe right now, which is probably going to vary country to country. So that's really the wild card. I mean, I could end up just booking the trip and traveling out. Well, even if something comes up that you do get like a voucher to move flights and stuff to a later time. So I guess it was just suck if it would happen, if it happens, but I at least have a voucher where I can still travel out there and then but yeah, I have no idea what the summer as far as that's gonna look like. Other than I just know I wanted to travel in June or around September, like one of those 2 months. So if I did it in September, I could go out to Vegas towards like basically the week of June 24th.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing the same thing, but I'm trying to push my Europe trip out towards. I'm looking at more like mid to late August for my Europe trip.
Okay.
I figure that tries to give Europe a little bit more time to settle and figure out what they're doing with entry and exiting countries. So I'm trying to push it out towards the end of the year, and hopefully travel just gets a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, it's a good plan. Because I'm kind of speculating the summer months there shouldn't be too bad, like because it's going to be warm. So if anything, I don't think it would be too bad until like the next winter. But maybe not even by then, because there's going to be a lot of people that get vaccinated between now and the next winter season. So I think we'll be good for summertime. So maybe just to make it like a firm, I'll just assume like traveling during the month of June and then get the dates sorted out. Wait, how long are you planning on heading out to Europe for if you do decide to go?
10 days. So it's literally a trip I had planned last year and had to get all moved because essentially the ultimate goal was to go to Greece. So I was going to stop in Turkey for a couple days, then Athens, and then I was going to go to Santorini and then spend like the last like 7 days on Santorini. But like since Greece and all that area over there just got hit the worst. Everything just got completely shut down. So like I've slowly been moving it out, and I've actually gotten to the point where I had to renew my vouchers again because it's still shut down. And I know I've been following like the Greece embassy, and they're just now getting into talks of like opening back up, but they don't know what the requirements are and all that fun stuff. So I'm still just kind of playing it by ear. So we'll see. It's a trip that I've been looking forward to for a while. It just keeps getting postponed. It seems at this rate. Yeah, I'm getting tired of having to shift all my stuff to the right, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Looks like Aussies aren't going to make it. Our government keeps. Yeah, Blue Bum. That shit sucks. I know you guys have it pretty bad with the lockdowns in Australia. I know I was talking to OG43 about how, like, I know you guys are like, they're literally separated depending on what part of Australia you guys are in. You can't even like cross borders to go see family members. Like it's kind of just absolute trash. It sucks. Like, at least for us in the States, we're able to still travel to different states, and obviously they have their own regulations, but we're not prohibited from actually physically traveling to anywhere in our country that we want to. So I feel for you guys for sure. Let's see. The wife might stay home. That's true. The wife might stay home. Yeah. I'm gonna bring it up to my girl and see what she says, and play it by ear, see if she wants to tag along or not. Santorini is a nice place. Yep. 10 days isn't long enough, Molly. You should try extended if you can. Yeah, I mean, I think I can have a lot of fun 10 days. That's right. Vegas. So, in regards to buying property, Vegas is a good place to look into right now. A lot of Silicon Valley in California is buying up a lot of Vegas, actually. So, it's pretty good for some real estate investments. Just like looking to crypto, I was talking to. He's been eyeballing North Carolina, which I've been eyeballing as well. It's essentially becoming the Silicon Valley Raleigh is, at least for the East Coast. Texas and Florida, those are some very good key states if you guys are looking to get into the real estate market. You might want to start checking out, because you can still get some really good deals, and I foresee their prices really taking off here over the next year or two.
Totally.
You good, Brand? Someone trying to break in your house? I keep seeing you messing with the blinds and dipping off.
Oh, no.
All right? Do we need to send help?
Yeah. No, dude, we're doing fine. I had the window open because it gets hot in here with my laptop. And then, after streaming for a little bit, I wanted to close it because also the blinds were open and I didn't want any like mosquitoes, coming in to sting me or anything like that, to bite me.
Gotcha.
And then I had to pee, so yeah, I just peed. But I think the actual Hexican.Vegas meetup is going to be great. If there's anything that we've already seen with Matty Allen and Allen, not only does he do the Quant Gang every Tuesday, which he's still live now, but he hosts great conferences. And we saw what he did and the level of detail that he had with the most recent conference online. And it's going to be awesome to, meet anyone that can join in person. And like I said, for those that can't, I plan on getting a lot of footage with people that are, okay with being in front of the camera, that want to. And whatever people decide to do, split off into separate groups or do whatever you want. I think everyone's going to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, Vegas just offers you a lot of opportunities to do whatever. It's pretty much got a little bit for everyone. Like, I know at some point, like, I would love to go rent a sand rail and just go rip it out on the dunes. I know I definitely want to do some nightlife and do some clubbing with some of the guys, so that'll be fun. Gambling, I still like gambling, so I get to practice a little DGen. Maybe go hit the roulette wheel, do some martingale strategies, do some poker, do some blackjack. I think Maddie talked about it. If you guys are going to gamble, obviously, some of you guys have probably come from a gambling background in the past. I know for me personally, I just like to keep my gambling money separate from my trip money, something that I'm willing to lose. And it's just to have fun with. So, set whatever you got to for yourself and just make sure you still leave enough money to have a good time in Vegas, because there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good places to eat, a lot of cool things to go do. Go drive tanks over cars, go rip it on the dunes, nightlife, you name it. It's going to be a blast. Pool parties are pretty wild. It's gonna
the cool thing, I completely agree. There's so much to do. Honestly, I've never been to Vegas, but I've got 3 older brothers and they have, right? And they've told me a lot about their experiences, and they went.
They didn't take you? They just left you at home?
I was like 18 when my brother was turning 21 for his party, and
left behind.
Yeah, seriously, that's like the story of my life.
No fake. They couldn't sneak you in.
Well, I probably could have if I wanted to, but I don't know. I guess it just didn't happen that time. But I guess now is the time for me to redeem myself, right? And to be able to experience all that Vegas has to offer. To your point, Motley, it's it's not like it's just about gambling and losing money and stuff like this theoretically, or winning money as well for gains. It's kind of about, for me, I'm excited for the experience. And the cool thing about Hex is it almost does like the opposite of gambling, right? Gambling can be, and obviously everyone can do what they want to, but when I think about it, gambling can kind of be like a short term, whether it be gain or loss, and things like Hex are almost like the direct opposite of it. And it's cool that we can be staked, we can have T-shares, while we also have fun as well. Because I think especially if you've seen like 362x gains, I think it's important to be able to reward yourself. And honestly, that's kind of how I see this.
Bro, I want to get you fucked up. Everyone's talking about how young and everything you are. Like, I want to buy you lap dances in Vegas. I want to get you like obliterated out of your mind. Just watch Brand just destroyed in Vegas. Like, that's all the entertainment I need. I really want that.
We'll have a good time, to say the least.
We'll make it happen. You strap up with your little body camera so we can track your movements throughout the night, and it's gonna be good.
Only if people are comfortable with that.
I'll pay the stripper extra, so she'll allow the camera.
Right here.
Get that POV. Yeah, we'll make sure to track your movement so you don't get too lost.
It's got a GPS on it too, so we can definitely do that.
Corey invested in lappies.
Don't panic. Says don't take your girlfriend with you. That's good advice. Don't panic.
Yeah. I am flying solo. My girlfriend is going to Switzerland around the same time, and so she's going to go visit some of her friends over there. And anyways, I'll be able to stay more local. So it's awesome. I mean, like I said, I requested the time off. So June 24th through the 27th is when the conference is, but I got the 23rd off and the next day after the conference as well. So I'll have definitely enough time. And the cool thing about this and why I like Matty so much is he's able to plan in advance, right? 3 months. I mean, that's enough time for a lot of people that might not be able to be able to plan and to maybe join. So whoever does make it, great. Whoever can't, that's totally fine.
Blue Bum has nominated you as Crypto Bambi. Corrupting Crypto Bambi. It'd be really cool. It'd be cool if some of our European and other Hexican brethren from out of the country could come. That'd be pretty cool to see some of those guys as well and hang out with them in person. I'm sure as stuff opens up more over time, we'll be able to, but it'll definitely be cool if some of you guys can get out there to Vegas if you can do it.
So June 24th to 27th, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll be there.
Okay. Let's go. Let's all rent Lambos. Just rent a Lambo. Just all the Hexicans and Lambos for the day. That'd be sick.
How much is it to rent a Lambo? I'm gonna look that up.
It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey. Me and my buddies did it when we went to what music festival do they have out there? I forgot what it was. But my buddy rented one, and I remember he paid a pretty penny for it.
I remember seeing it earlier. It was like $1,000 for like 8 hours and like $400 for like 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah, you're gonna pay anywhere from like $1,000 to like $2,500 for essentially the day. Well, that's the speed track. That's where you can literally just you can pick your supercar and just rip it around the track. But you kind of got to know what you're doing, or they're not going to let you kind of cut loose as much as you'd want. But
that makes sense.
If you rent an exotic car, then you can do whatever the hell you want. So
I got one pulled up, fairharbor.com. We can get a Lamborghini Huracan Evo purple. I like
Huracan. Huracan.
I don't fucking know.
Someone clipped that shit.
Yeah, right. I don't give a fuck about cars, dude.
I know, but you gotta know your Lambos at least. Pretend like you're a crypto influencer.
I should.
Yeah.
Huracan Evo.
How much?
Let's see, 9:30 a.m. We can get there on a nice 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $1,200 per 24 hours. Yeah.
Just split it with another Hexican and just rip it through the desert. That'd be pretty fun. I'd be down for it. Yeah, $1,000 a day for a Lambo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know everything's a walking distance, Corey. I'm just talking about if we just want to go out in the desert and tear it up.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing is.
Hold the door.
Aventador. That's Aventador. I know that. I was trying to say like a Spanish way.
I'll throw down for that, Corey, for sure. That'd be fun.
You get a McLaren for a little bit cheaper.
The cool thing from what I've observed and from what people have said is like there's just a lot to do, right? And it's not like we have to stick by any strict schedule. And like, if people want to meet up for a few hours or to get lunch at one of the events, that's great. It's not like you have to, attend the, I guess, like itinerary the whole time that the Maddie's kind of laid out. We can do whatever we want and whatever people feel like they enjoy. So it'll be awesome that there's so much like entertainment centralized in such a small area. And I think everyone.
I'm going to EDC.
Hell yeah.
I'm done to go to EDC with Children of the Grave. Fuck yeah, dude.
I was just saying that. I don't know why that was escaping me earlier. Like, I'm so fucking brain dead right now, but I was just like, fuck, what we go out there for is definitely EDC.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, festivals are going to be back on. Everyone's going to get vaccinated. I'm going to get my vaccination like in a week or so. And
I already got my antibodies. I'm good to go.
I'm going to get my microchip from Bill Gates, baby. Fucking shove that shit in me.
Can clip that one too. That could be the new drop on DJ Cryptomatic. Yeah, baby, shove it in me.
I'm banking on the fact that you don't have enough free time to
come through all these. Yeah, I won't.
Otherwise, I'd be so fucked.
I'm sure someone will clip it in here.
Yeah, well, now that we're talking about it, why no one gets a Nissan Skyline? Because I don't know what that is. But yeah, EDC is going to be pretty lit, probably. Pop some mollies. Fuck yeah. It's a song, guys. It's a song title. I would never actually do that.
Never condone that. Even if it is a good
That's
time.
the cool thing. There are so many different things you can do, like you guys mentioned. Go to like a club and dance and have fun and enjoy the experience, or like go to the pool, rent a Lamborghini. Sorry, I'll try not to bang on my desk here. But the other thing too, like the guns, a gun range, and be able to, if you choose to, like shoot automatic weapons or roll a tank over a vehicle, like was in the photo. So there's going to be a lot to do, and I'm just excited. There's almost like so much entertainment and so many things to like explore and possibly do that I'm definitely personally I'm gonna like try and pack many things to do during the whole time. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Brad,
the one thing I have with the vaccine though is what Market Valley's concern. That it might change my DNA and make me a broke pleb.
All of a sudden, you have the urge to sell Hex. Like, oh god!
All of a sudden, I start calling
what's in this vaccine? Da! Start getting a receding hairline. Like, fuck. Have the urge to become a Bitcoin maxi. Yeah, be careful, guys.
Oh man. Yeah.
You see his made.
Yeah, but like, there's a bunch of cool shit to do. Last time I was there was like a porn competition going on. There's a bunch of porn stars walking around.
Nice. I'm down for that too.
I'm not jumping off this strat. Hell no, I hate heights. But I'll at least go up there. I mean, shit. My girlfriend's apartment.
Adamant he was on. Hell no. Fuck no.
Fuck no.
Bro, we're not gonna make you go, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't force me off.
Shit. Brad's gonna be at dinner. I'm gonna be like behind him, like hooking up a harness. Like, what do you do? Don't worry about it. Just shh. Just get him so fucked up he doesn't realize like I'm strapping him into the harness. Like, hey man, come to the roof real quick.
Yeah, I got something to show you.
I want to show you something. Bro, there's a huge bag of Hex up here. Come check it out.
Man.
Brad, hey, it's gonna be good. You're not gonna have to pay for anything because all of us are gonna want to corrupt the shit out of you when you go to Vegas. So we got you.
Yeah, it's a trip being in Vegas, man. Especially like, I mean, you can go to a dispensary and get some weed and just walk around, and it's like a freak show, dude. There's just people, street performers, and what have you. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's just naked people. There's fucking like. There's like everything you would ever imagine. I saw a guy with no arms or legs, like breakdancing. Like,
damn.
Like what?
Yeah,
especially if you go to Fremont Street. Fremont Street's where it's at.
Whatever you want to do or what you've dreamt of doing, like Vegas probably has some version of it for you. So
Yeah,
you can have.
But in all honesty, my favorite spot was definitely the pool party at Encore. Or
pool parties are sick.
I did enjoy the Trump Tower. I actually stayed there. It was a nice, quiet, like getaway from the crazy ones, and then it's still close enough to everything else on the strip. Pool party at Encore, pool party at the Flamingo. Oddly enough, I had a good time there. And then Hakkasan nightclub. I saw Chainsmokers there once. I saw a couple people there. So Michael asks, can you smoke in a casino? You can smoke cigarettes indoors. So I don't think you can technically smoke weed inside the casino. I think they're going to get you for that. But outside, I don't think they're really going to care.
And free drinks as long as you're gambling too. That's how they like to get you as well. So as long as you're sitting at a table, you could be playing micro stakes and you can get all the free drinks you want for pre-gaming. You just got to be careful you don't go buck wild like they want you to.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's weird that you can smoke indoors. It's one of the last places in the U.S. other than Nashville that I know of, right, that you can actually smoke inside, and it's encouraged. I mean, it's whatever. MGM is great for sure, Michael. Corey, pool party at the Hard Rock. That's cool. I've never been to that one.
Hard Rock's fun.
Yeah.
And then Children Graves said we can run into Joey Ingram. Yep. I know I've talked to him a couple times on DMs on Twitter, and obviously I've been super chatting his ass for like the past couple months. So he's well versed in ins and outs of Vegas. So definitely probably hit him up and see if I can meet up with him. That'd be dope.
Nice. I'm gonna go be a degenerate with my favorite group of degenerates. This is gonna be great.
Yeah,
this is gonna be so awesome. Actually, we're actually not the degenerates of crypto. We're like the only people preaching good behavior.
We're actually not. Yeah, it's actually true.
It's weird. It's like we like to make fun of ourselves, but we're not.
And that's probably why we're going to cut loose in Vegas too. Our non-degenerative behavior in crypto, we got to cut it loose in the real world in Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas.
I mean, it is pretty wild. Some people think it's wild to invest in Hex. They're like, "Holy shit! Why would you put so much money into that thing?" But to us, it feels like the conservative move.
Right. Yep. I'm ready for Vegas just to see a bunch of these just like hexagons everywhere, and everyone will be like, "What is this logo?" And like, "What the fuck is going on with all these?" It's gonna look like there's like some sort of convention going on with everyone, because everyone's gonna be repping it to the max. And
bring your stickers, put them on every single bathroom stall you go in. Like Vegas is perfect for promoting shit.
Yeah, I still got thousands of Staker app stickers and Hex stickers, and that shit's going everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm almost anticipating now, like a couple of days before before Vegas, you're gonna see like a local top on the Hex price chart.
I'm ready to see what Hexican ends up in jail first. Like, who's gonna be the first documented Hexican to end up in jail? And then who's gonna be the next one to like go like, oh, what's up? It's just like coffee. What's going on? Like sell over. Like, fuck.
There's a good chance that I'm not first, but I'm like second.
Yeah, you come out from your blackout and you're like, looking around. It's like, all right, what other Hexicans in here with me? It's just like, oh shit, what's up, Corey Investor? Like,
Corey.
God damn it. When do we get out? 9 a.m. All right.
Who would it really be? I don't know all these guys well enough to know, but it's gonna be fun.
I think everyone's gonna cut loose, so it's really just roll the dice on what you get busted for.
Don't panic. It's gonna be Brand Hexo or Kareem.
Brand's gonna be fucked up, so that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Brand is. I can hold my own pretty good. But we'll see.
You say that now, but we're gonna push you past your tipping point probably. If I had to bet money on.
Yeah.
Hit the streets. Yep.
You can't pay bail with Hex yet. That's true.
Yeah, you gotta sell on our heads. Please don't. Actually, I don't know if you got enough to sell on our heads. Give us a little bit of a dip. I wouldn't mind too much.
I haven't looked at a chart in a while, guys. What's going on?
It looks good. I checked out before the stream. We're sitting at like just under like 1.3.
Hey, look into crypto. I don't know if you want to,
dropped
but
below 1.2. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Someone must have just sold.
I mean,
do you have any Hex charts? Look into crypto that you want to share. Otherwise, I can post it up. But you're really good at the analysis.
He's
Yeah,
holding
there's-
off on his
yeah,
golden
I'm-
chart.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
The golden chart. I'm not sharing it for the reason.
No worries.
that,
No worries.
I know there's the possibility of it's just on the golden chart. There's certain things I'm anticipating with like whalery, so I don't want to give them any hints. I want them to get wrecked
Sure.
trying to optimize, because what'll happen is if it does enter an expansion phase, you're gonna have sub cycles, and within those sub cycles, basically that's where you have people that speculate, like they're trying to. There's gonna be people like, even though it's highly recommended just to hold onto your coins long term, there's going to be people that try to play the move, and I want to see them get destroyed, because it's gonna end up it'll just be better for price pumping, things like that. So so far, everything I've seen so far within the Telegram and the Hex trading Telegram is good. Like they've pretty much narrowed it down to certain wallets, like if they're selling or not. They're gonna find out in that Telegram channel, and then it's just an extra source of information to go off of to maybe guess as to when that can start. But the chart looks incredible on the weekly. I mean, the weekly chart is insane. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you were getting me hyped the other week when you were going through all that stuff. I was just like, bro,
Hey,
I don't even know what you're showing me right now. It sounds amazing.
What Telegram chat were you talking about? Which Telegram chat?
It's the Hex trading Telegram. They do all the chain analysis through like 1 inch. Yeah.
I pop my head in there every now and then.
Not even in that.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't even keep track of it anymore. I'm probably in like 40 different groups now. I just can't keep up with all of them anymore.
Well, it's just like Crypto Coffee mentioned with content, right? That there is so many Hexicans that are passionate, that are inspired, that are doing their own content and streams, that you really do kind of have like everyone gets to kind of like pick and choose, right? And people have different personalities and what they vibe with and what they don't. And so that is kind of the nice thing of the abundance, is as opposed to having like a lack of content and information, we've got an abundance. So it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Wingsuits? Oh no, he's talking about like the indoor skydiving stuff. Okay, I was like, I don't know about that wingsuit crap. Looks fun as hell, but I'm not trying to die.
Yeah, you can go ziplining over the street on Fremont.
I
So
like
that's
to do
kinda
that.
cool.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, me either.
I bet you it's pricey for just like a
Probably.
quick zip line, but it'd be cool.
Probably.
So what other do we have any new news in Hex besides all that, everything we've gone over? So the fork, Vegas trip, what else have we not talked about yet?
We didn't talk about the fork much. I mean, I think, what do you guys think about that? I'm really, really excited. But as we know with the 4 more weeks meme, that this might take longer than Richard is projecting. He mentioned it could be 6 months. Steph mentioned it could be longer than that. What do you guys think about the fork, if you have any ideas?
I put a video out yesterday. It's got pretty much everything summed up.
No one cares.
Yeah.
We care about today, Coffee. Gosh.
My
Everyone go to
thoughts haven't-
Coffee's video right now.
The thoughts haven't changed in the last 24 hours. I've been very, very busy.
Not repeating myself. Go watch the video. What about you?
I'm not being a good
crypto?
host today. I gotta admit.
Yeah,
I'm not being a very good host.
No, you're good.
That's funny. Yeah, I think as far as the timeline, I don't really care how long it ends up taking. At the very least, if it takes longer than 6 months, there's going to be information that gets passed on along the way through Richard's live streams. So I think we'll hear stuff about it. And at the very least, like, even if it takes longer than 6 months, I don't, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good opportunity just to have a chain where you can store your stakes on, low fees, things like that. So regardless of the timing on it, I think it's just going to end up being, it's a huge win, basically. because for the vast majority of your bag that you really shouldn't be trying to like trade with things like that, you can store most of that on this quote unquote like side chain or however you want to call it. Have your staking ladder set up on there, and you can do creative things with the staking ladders because you're not as constrained anymore by the gas fees. And then if you need to access the ETH main chain, if you need to like buy coins off a DEX or something like that, if there's a difference in liquidity, you'll still always have that option. So if anything, it looks like now the fees, if anything, the most you'll see as far as the fee goes is if you're transferring value from the ETH main chain into this hex chain, and that's like a one-time thing in theory. So after that, like your fees are extremely low. And plus, we've already seen the with the tokenomics of Hex, it's really good as far as the supply locking goes. So I'm very interested just to hear what Richard has plans as far as the pumpamentals of this of the side chain itself, because there could be all sorts of stuff like burning mechanisms, like things like that. I think we're going to see some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what he alluded to, that he's got some surprises. He's pretty much already said they're done, which either means he's already kind of like worked it out, or at least he has an idea of what he wants, the extra tools and add-ons he wants to add to the chain. So it's going to be it's going to be cool to see what he does. And I think that's our main problem right now. It's fun to talk about and speculate, but like we honestly don't have much to go off of. We pretty much have like two streams where he like brought it up. We essentially have an idea there will be a chain.
And I'm just going to be honest too. Most of us don't know what the fuck we're talking about. And
Yeah.
like myself
I can
included,
attest.
myself included. Like, it's fun to say like, oh, how do you think the consensus mechanism is going to work? But I really know what that means?
Mechanism? Yeah.
Guys, I'm just like, I'm not a developer.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing proof of stake. Yeah.
It's there's some things we do know. And there's some things.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I think it's funny when I pop in the Telegram and everyone's like arguing about imaginary, like Richard calls them imaginary horribles. Like, guys,
yeah, true.
Like, relax.
Yeah, it's like we have about 2 streams where essentially just mention, hey, there's going to be a new chain. No one really knows how it's going to be forked over. No one knows if there's even going to be a new coin. Everyone's excited about airdrops and this and that. It's just like we will learn and put out the news as it comes out, as Richard slowly divulges it as he goes on. But like essentially all we know is new chain, he's got a lead dev, and that's about it.
I do have a legit question though for all you guys. So the way I see it, there could be 2 ways of forking this shit over, right? It could be like a diode, like a one way, and then you don't get to come back, kind of like how EOS and Tron did, or it could be airdrop, duplicate, free tokens, big payday, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Which I mean, obviously, I like
option
the free
2
tokens more. But like, can you guys see? Can you guys see any pros and cons with like an airdrop versus a one-way transfer? I mean, I guess one way you wouldn't be able to go back.
So with the duplication and the airdrop and stuff, I wonder, because essentially we run into what, like an Ethereum Classic scenario, Bitcoin Cash scenario, like. So we talked about like consensus, essentially the community agreeing to move over. Obviously, in all reality, it's not really needed because let's be honest, the OA has a majority of the coins where, and I think Richard kind of alluded to this too when during his streams, he's like, we are forking ETH. Like he's like, yeah, as long as everyone like comes, he's like, no, he's like, we're going to fork ETH. Like the OA ultimately is going to make the decision. So, and that's good, right? Because it has the ability to protect the project and do what's best for us at the time. So, it's going to be interesting if we do that duplication, how it works. Is the OA going to make some moves to kind of nerf? I know people have talked about like it's staking out all its coins max and just nerfing the APY down to very little. Just what happens to essentially the original Hex if we're trying to do a duplication and move over to a new chain completely? I don't know. We just really don't know enough to even speculate on that kind of stuff. I'm always down for a free airdrop though, so That's probably a little not really looking
too.
out much foresight on my part. Like not thinking about what the repercussions are or what could come out of that, but always like a good airdrop. So it's kind of hard for me to think beyond that. I'd have to ponder it a little bit more.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool if it rewarded existing and new stakers by somehow also having your T-shares be like node validators in the ecosystem. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe you can sign some kind of transaction that says, hey, I own this many T-shares. Now I get to be a validator, and you could decentralize it that way.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. Yeah, that would be really awesome for the price. So I
Right,
support
exactly.
that.
I would like to
Dude.
be a validator just for the title, even if there's not much incentivizing it. Just be like, yeah, I'm a Hex validator.
Crypto coffee node validator.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah, you
awesome.
guys
Just
got
like
any-
pull up your badge. It's like, do you know who I am? I'm a Hex
You guys got any
validator.
nodes I can validate?
You need business cards for that.
I'm just
Show me your
picturing
node.
somebody. I'm just picturing somebody bragging about that at a bar. I'm a Hex validator.
Like coming up to a girl like, what's
Just
up?
post it. Yeah, just post it up. Just like, do you know I'm a Hex validator? Panties just drop to the floor.
It's just like that meme of that guy in the party. Like they don't know I'm a Hex node validator. Like nobody
I've seen
cares.
that one. Richard did allude to that. I mean, obviously there's multiple ways that you can fork something and things like that. But he did allude almost to like airdrops being the safest way to do such a thing. And imagine if it was on some other network and it used XYZ currency, and the XYZ currency that it was using, you were airdropped. Richard mentioned that that would be like almost like having like free transactions, kind of like for the people that did the Matic stuff, the Matic that it would give you. So almost enough to be able to do the transactions. And here's the thing, I agree with Crypto Coffee. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. We don't know what the ultimatum is, but we know that Richard's mentioned multiple times he is hard forking Ethereum and he is forking off. So we can at least guarantee that for a minimum. But whether the time frame, what the circumstances are, who qualifies, how many validators. Richard mentioned it could be like 81 validators, and it's like, well, how do you qualify for a validator? Then do you have to be a shark, or different things that you could ask and you could honestly run in circles for. But either way, it's going to happen. And either way, Richard Hart, since I've been following him in 2017, has done everything legitimately. He's thought about things through. And so I have no doubt in my mind this will be very similar.
What are you talking about, bro? He's a scammer. God, get your facts.
Please
right.
don't buy Hex.
He's
Here-
clearly
here's
a
my-
scammer.
Here's my prediction, guys. I'm thinking 9 to 10 months from today. I think by end of year, I think like January 2022, we're going to see it. And we can speculate about what Richard likes, right? We know it's valuable to Richard. And that's Hex, right? He wants Hex to succeed more than anything in the world. And so I think his own token, if it was another token, would come secondary to the Hex token. So I think he would be likely to incorporate Hex fundamentals into the new chain somehow with either consensus or some incentive to switch over. Maybe you get more bonus shares or something if you switch over and use the new chain. Who knows? There's all these types of different things you could do. But we do know that he just wants to win, and he wants to provide value for the people that believe in his vision as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool too, because like just like this is news and stuff for us to talk about, even though we don't really have much to go off. It's mostly speculation. What will come of this, if we really are talking about airdrop and duplication of Hex, or however the system ends up working, you could be talking about another event the size of Big Payday, which technically no one ever foresaw having again, because we only had one big payday. So this gives everyone else another opportunity to make a lot of money, bring a big news event, bring a lot more investors and eyes to Hex again. So it's gonna be a pretty significant movement, probably just in the adoption of Hex and price, because I guarantee you, even the haters, everyone that wants to yell scam, will secretly be buying Hex. And if they know there's going to be an airdrop or something along those lines, even the people that have adamantly come out against Hex, I guarantee you in the background, they're going to be buying some. And I think we could see we could really,
Yeah.
when we talked about those end of year price predictions, so you're talking about probably towards the end of the year when this potentially could go through, you really could be hitting that anywhere between, I think conservatively we were saying somewhere between 10 and 25 cents by the end of the year. That could be the large news event that pushes us over that price point.
Holy shit. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine even Hex at 10
Just gotta
cents, let alone a
keep chipping
quarter.
away at it day after day. I mean, I'm so close to finishing this course. I hope this gets a lot of new people on. It's gonna have a really good referral program. If you sell the course on my behalf, you're gonna get $80. It's a $200 course.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I mean, that's if you've got someone to recommend it to,
Tell us more about
really
it.
good.
What does it cover?
It's total basics and into the total expert, right? So the first module is all about mindset, right? How to think about how to think about investing, how to really get your mind right and invert a lot of the stupid things that you currently believe, or silly things, whatever. And then the next module is all about security and setup. How do you set up MetaMask? How do you set up Coinbase? How do you lock that shit down with 2FA? All that stuff. Then we get into actually buying Hex, right? So there's a lot more that goes into buying Hex than just like, oh, go buy it. It's like you got to go to Coinbase, you got to go to ethhex.com, then you go to MetaMask, and then you buy it, and then it's like, when's the best time to buy? And then how do I sell it too? When I want to sell it, how do I transfer it? Go in the reverse direction. And then finally, it's like the fourth module is all about staking. So it's like, what is staking as a concept? What's a staking ladder as a concept? How should you do your ladder? Like, I'm not recommending monthly. I'm recommending like quarterly or buy semi-annually or yearly. I think monthly is a little too much, to be honest.
It also depends what you're coming in with, but yeah, I'd say monthly is too much at this point. It's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Yeah. At this point, I did a lot of monthly stakes myself, so I'm not saying I'm like smart or anything, but
even to counter that real quick, not to cut you off too much, but looking to crypto said, when this does become a solution, because like again, the ecosystem around Hex is finished and complete product, but the ecosystem is constantly evolving and what's being built. So when this fork does come and we do solve the gas fees, like looking to crypto said, there is going to be different staking strategies. So you will see like people doing, like we see it now with these short stakes, but you'll see like revolving 3-month stakes, maybe like 3 of them. So you have a monthly income. And if you have a large enough stack, that might make sense for someone at the time. So we're going to see a lot of different strategies starting to come out and different staking methods where maybe monthly, it doesn't really matter. It might be something that someone actually wants to do because they don't have to worry about those gas fees anymore. But as of today, yeah, it makes sense not to really do that frequency of a stake.
Yeah, and it's going to be totally up to your, like, I really preach critical thinking and thinking for yourself all the time. It's up to your lifestyle, whatever fits your lifestyle. If you want birthday presents for your kids, or if you got a college fund to save up for, if you want a new car, if you have an engagement ring that you're saving up for, like you're going to need to do these different things at different times of your life. So there's really no one size fits all. It's one size fits one. And at the very end of it all, it's going to be, oh, by the way, all that really complicated shit I just told you? Well, then here is Staker app. And Staker app does everything all in one. Use my referral link. I'm not even going to tell them it's a referral link, but it doesn't matter. And, this is the link to get the app, and the app does everything I just taught you, except it does it better. And hopefully by then the fees will go down. So, hopefully people will be getting their Gnosis wallets.
That's actually, I didn't even think about this part, but the sidechain is actually great for Staker app, because now like a lot of the fee complications, I didn't even think about that part on Staker app. Like there's a huge benefit for you can almost basically select, which obviously if somebody knows better, it'll select the sidechain because of the gas fees and things like that. But you can have options as far as like where to deploy, like what chain you basically want to deploy your stake on, which I'm assuming for the most part is going to be on the side chain, because it makes sense to use, like, I just think of the side chain now as a funnel to base for the vast majority of the wealth storage that's going to be locked up, and then whatever isn't stored directly on the side chain will just be liquidity for dexes and things like that. That's why it goes even back to what you were mentioning as far as the diode. From what I'm seeing, at least in the space in general, there's a big desire for having the ability to move things like in a cross-chain environment, I guess, where you can move assets like onto one chain or move them onto another one. That way, you're not constrained by the fee limitations on Ethereum. But if you ever want to go back for whatever reason, you still have that as like an option. So I'm curious to see how that part of it plays out. Because the one, I guess the main thing right now is how, I guess in the end, I'm almost imagining you'll just have liquidity pools on both like the ETH chain and the side chain, and then you can just access the DEX to access whatever chain. But I guess for Ethereum, most of this stuff is going to end up on L2. I'm guessing within like the next year or two. So I guess it's L2 Ethereum and then Hex sidechain. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about on this. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying random shit right now.
I don't actually know how you would get a DEX to go to get liquidity from different chains, right? Because right now we don't have such a DEX that can like sync up liquidity pools between Matic and Polkadot and Cardano. If there
Would
even
be
was
sick
one on
if
Cardano.
we could, though.
But yeah, but it'd be pretty cool if we could. And
I'm
stuff.
sure you've thought about it already.
Children of the Grave said that stuff was alluding to layer 2 on Staker, which would be pretty neat. Multi-chain on Hex would be great. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, maybe it doesn't really make sense to have a one-way transaction, right? Everybody that went over to Tron, like, they probably wish they could still be on Ethereum too if they wanted to be.
Yep.
Not like they're actually doing anything with that but like Hex is
I
going
know
to be
what you
different,
mean.
right?
Yeah.
The more options, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, the way I even think about it is if you look at the coins in the space that are in some way able to connect to Ethereum, like their price performance has done incredible. Like I think it's a huge risk to basically silo yourself away from Ethereum, because if you look at coins from last cycle, even proof of work chains like that are more siloed, like where they're just using like an older consensus mechanism or whatever, their price performance has done really shitty compared to Ethereum, and then other cross-chain stuff that's in some way like connected to Ethereum. So I think right now, like a lot of people are, well, at least for this market cycle, there's a lot of speculation that's just around ETH and then cross chain, and then as long as you can basically move value between ETH and the side chain, you'll always have people that they won't really think about it. They would only think about it if it did function as like a diode, or you can only move value in one direction. But then the problem is you basically end up siloing everything. And then it's almost like a representation of like liquidity fragmentation, things like that are generally not desirable, at least like right now with the L2 stuff going on Ethereum. They're looking to solve a lot of like liquidity, even though this isn't necessarily directly comparable to the sidechain example, but like in the L2 case, what they're trying to do is they're figuring out ways to bridge everything together so that your liquidity is not fragmented.
Isn't Polkadot trying to do that? Be able to like bridge all the different chains essentially?
Yeah. I think Polkadot's trying to be the interoperability play, and they're trying to make it so that it's so easy that you can just wrap a contract that exists in Solidity and do like a one button click to clone it or deploy it on this blockchain.
I think
everybody. So we need to move towards a world of a standardized set of smart contracts, and maybe only the Solidity chains will be the players, right? Maybe because they're all sharing a common language, or every EVM compatible, right? Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchains only, and then the other ones will kind of get forgotten because they're so hard to connect up to.
Yeah, that's what I agree with that.
So I'm sure the Hex chain is going to have a lot of these parameters and try to utilize as much. Don't reinvent the wheel on a lot of this stuff if you don't have to.
Just upgrade it.
Yeah, but you do want interoperability, right? You want to be able to get people from every other chain. There's all these
that economic mass.
Yeah, there's all these there's all these big players out here that are trying to do blockchain as a service. So things like Cosmos that are like, click to deploy your own blockchain, right? And it's kind of different than what we've seen, right? Because we've seen blockchain services on like Microsoft Azure where you can just like one click deploy your own blockchain. Hey, what's up from Japan, dude? Or Ms. I'm sorry.
I was about to say she's a lady.
Sorry, Ms. Exquisite.
Miss Exquisite. Come on now.
Dudette.
Dudette.
Sorry about that.
How
Children
flattering.
of the Grave. Oh. He said he's getting lower fees for staking and end staking. I'm not sure how he would, but he is talking about solutions.
I mean, lower fees for skating. He's clearly ice skating, so
Skating. Yeah. So what's up in Japan, everybody? I know we also got Crypto King over there and Papa Boner.
Papa B,
right?
Crypto King, Miss Hexaquisite. Yeah, Japan's popping off. I'm ready to go back to Japan for sure. I miss
Japan
it.
always sounded so fun. I've never been.
Everyone who has not been to Japan has to go. You have to.
Go.
It's got to be on your bucket list. It's too much fun. It's too amazing. The culture's too. It's incredible. Like you have to go at some point in your life.
I would love it. I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's a cool thing.
Actually, I'm surprised. Hex Mac. Sorry, Brad. Hex Mac. Have you ever gone to Japan? I know a lot of. It's funny because there's a lot of travel back and forth between Australia and Japan since they're so close. They usually vacation in each other's countries. Curious. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Oh no, please do. I was just going to say that the cool thing about Hex is it's not just centralized in one geographical location. I mean, we've got Hexicans everywhere, and yeah, it's cool that we got them in Japan. We got them in even a couple of the people that were already in Vegas were saying that they would be able to make the conference. So it's awesome to see that we really are spreading outwards, and we are slowly but surely gaining more adoption. And that's just the thing is, I think Hex is really going to hit a tipping point. And when Richard kind of mentions like the term like cascading effect, where it really is going to be that domino, just the one domino right now is like out of 45, and it's about to like tip the rest of them and kind of cause a chain reaction, in my opinion, with where we're heading. And it's awesome to see, man. I couldn't be more proud to be a Hexican. And so many people can see like the passion and the fire in our voices, in our content, and all of that's thanks to Richard for putting in the hard work and doing something properly. See, that's the thing is a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, you mentioned Cardano, and I'm not here to like name names necessarily besides that one, but so many other cryptocurrencies, they are promise coins, right? Hex didn't promise shit. The only thing it promised was, hey, if you're a Bitcoin holder before December 1st, something like that, 2019, that you could qualify for the airdrop. And it's just awesome to see that someone like Richard Hart, clearly he's mentioned before that he's been retired since 23, and he didn't have to do this, right? He didn't have to do this for the betterment of humanity or the cryptocurrency community, but he wanted to do it for, and I need to make a clip of this, but he wanted to do it for the legacy, right? And it's awesome to see that we got all the right intentions and the right timing on our side.
Yeah, you know what, Bran, I totally agree. I'm just laughing at HexMax's comment. I think what would make a great what would make a great mini series on YouTube, and this is an open game for everyone. I was going to get to this eventually, but go ahead and do it. Is go through the rebuttals list and just make a quick 5 to 10 minute clip addressing every specific rebuttal, and be creative with the title. Like, so for the origin address one, will Richard Hart dump all of the hex on the holders' heads, and like just do exactly what the people are thinking in their heads of like their biggest fears or their biggest qualms about hex, and address them directly. Like, you need to think about what other people are thinking when you make these titles and thumbnails. I mean, it's like 50% of it's just getting them to click on it, right? And then once they click on it, don't lead off with right away with like, haha, gotcha, fuck you. But actually try to explain and be like, will Richard Hart dump hex on everyone's head? Well, let's really think about that problem, and then like really read into it and give your honest opinion. Talk about how well will Tesla dump on your head? Will Bezos dump on your head? Will Hayden Adams, sorry, the Uniswap founder, that guy owns 90%. So and then go into the differences between technical and economic centralization and admin keys versus somebody having more money than you, and then go into why skin in the game is better, and then go into all the. And that's only one video. And that make sure it's only 10 minutes too, because no one's gonna watch it if it's longer. But yeah, for anybody out there, if you guys want to make a mini series about the Hex rebuttals, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much walked through something similar on Twitter, like where one guy was trolling and pretty much said that same stuff. And these days, usually I would ignore it, but it was on somebody that had a popular Twitter, so I figured I'd break it down step by step, just one by one, two. I literally wrote it out in list format, addressing all the concerns and points that concern trolling, and just addressed all of them. And just because, it is a popular thread, if someone stumbles upon that, they can go through and look at it, and they can make decide their own opinion for themselves by looking at the facts and essentially, like you said, matching up real world examples of what works and what doesn't, and see that it really doesn't make sense for someone to destroy their creation, destroy their business, to dump on it. Yeah. So there's no incentive. Initially, people think that when something's centralized, because at least in the crypto space, because that's what we've seen in the past. Quick ICOs that were built of a coin essentially was just created just to drum up some money and then rug pull everyone a couple days later. So it's different. Hex is a different beast, different animal.
Yeah. And like, here's another couple of good video ideas did I fall for a Ponzi scheme? Hex exposed, or Hex truth revealed, and just make it about you, make it about emotional, so people click on it, right? Be like, did I just get exit scammed? My Hex story. That's your fucking title right there. Or Hex is illegal. Hex is an unregistered security. Do something about that. Do something that like people are gonna want, like, because we're in an echo chamber right now, and we're all talking to each other, and it feels good. It's like, yeah, Richard Hart's great, Hex is great, we're all awesome. But what's really valuable is if you can change someone else's mind that's not in the ecosystem. So like, if you're able to get a hater or even somebody neutral to click because maybe they heard Hex was a Ponzi scheme, and in your title you say, my Hex Ponzi scheme story, something, not literally that, but be creative, and they get to see for their first time really doing any so-called research. They get to see you instead of some really poorly researched article or some guy that has no idea what he's talking about. So I think that would be super valuable. I don't even know why I'm like going back to that. Like, we're doing fine. Hex is doing great. I'm not trying to sound like the sky is falling, but these are just ideas here.
No, it's good because like even today, like people have mentioned they'll come across some of the old like hater videos that Hex is a scam, Hex is a Ponzi scheme, all that stuff. So you need to start filling the space with, you can, just like you said, be creative with the titles and come up with something that's going to come up right alongside with their video, except it's going to offer you the other viewpoint, offer you why it's actually not a Ponzi scheme, why it's not this, why it's not that, and offer the alternative. When someone has that concern, they don't just see the haters video that didn't do their research, they stumble across yours, and they're able to see both sides of the coin and then come to their own conclusions, which if they're semi-intelligent, usually they're going to side with Hex, in my opinion.
Pull up Flame's comment right now. Let's see here. So this is so true, and a lot of you guys need to like definitely take this, like, keep this in mind. People don't do any critical thinking. They oftentimes don't even read the video. If the video is longer than 10 minutes, they're not going to read it. The video I put out about is ETH dead, is Cardano the future, I didn't talk about Cardano once in that entire fucking video. Do you know how many comments I had about Cardano in the fucking the video? Like, seriously, guys, you like, we give humanity too much credit, and I maybe I'm just in a bad mood, but I think everyone's kind of an idiot, and they need to be like shepherded and led to the right way. So
totally
keep that in mind.
That's a great title. I love it.
Spoon feeding the little baby at the booster seat, just like, here comes the choo-choo train. Like, open up.
I know. I'm normally much more optimistic about humanity, but I'm just a little tired.
I feel it, man. Hey, speaking of which, I guess now is a good time to wrap up. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. Last thing we'll say real quick is just where can people let me remove this. Where can people find you? So we see we got Crypto Coffee, GoStaker.com, Motley, HexStaker.com. Feel free to show your links and say where people can find you in case
Pretty
this is
sure
their first
everyone
time.
has Staker up by now, so no worries.
Yeah, everyone's got a Staker app. But hey, check out
Again, that echo
hexpassiveincome.com.
Never assume, right? There's a lot of people that are still like, even the other day. Last thing I'll say real quick, RG3 during the Discord syndicate yesterday, he jumped in the Hex chat and he's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Get into the Discord syndicate. And they're like, who the fuck is RG3? Who the hell is Discord syndicate? And so a lot of people kind of got like a chuckle and whatnot. But for me, I saw that as an opportunity. Like, dude, we still got Hexicans of all sorts and of, maybe they just joined last week, but they're passionate about like what this community is. And it's really cool. Like, we'll all get there eventually and we'll all get there together. But right now we're just really, starting off at the bottom and kind of like Crypto Coffee with the actual website itself on hex.com. You've got like a whole bunch of skyscrapers, and the perspective is almost like stargazing. Like you realize, like, holy shit, we really haven't gone anywhere.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Haven't get anywhere is like a
everybody
300 plus X.
Everybody in chat, thanks for coming. You guys are all fucking great. Marcavelli, Corey, Ms. Hexquisite, Michael Hex, Johnny, Simuda, Billy, Flames, and Children of the Grave, Escatar, Hex Mac.
Crypto King.
Anybody I missed? Thanks for hanging out with us. I mean, you guys are the real MVPs here. Yeah, you guys make the whole show with your hilarious chat. So fuck yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
You want to wrap it up? Or
oh yeah, if anyone wants to say where they can find you, look into crypto. You got anything going on, or just find you on Twitter, or I know you'll be hosting one of the next streams in the future.
Yeah, you could find me on Twitter. It's look into crypto.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
Well, I will
smash the like button, you broke plebs.
There's no broke plebs here, so I don't know who you're talking to.
Well, you're a broke pleb if you didn't smash the like button, evidently. So
yeah, true.
I like Marcavelli a lot. Him, myself. I mean, Motley, you've been joined in for a few minutes, but the Hex German stream, right? Alan and Patrick. It was really cool to see. That was kind of like, even though it was Hex centric and it was Hex related, it was still like a different type of stream. Kind of more party related is how they started it off. But then we covered a lot in that stream, and it's really cool that we can have fun at the same time, as well as learn more about passive income and making interest trustlessly. So it's fun to be here with all of you guys, and I couldn't think of a better group of people to stake 15.2 years out in the future with. So thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you guys for the next week of the Nights of the Crypto Table at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, and then. And actually, Matty Allin, he's still going on with Whales Only and Cream. Does anyone have any last things they want to say?
Nope. Buy more Hex.
Okay.
Stake it. Have a good time.
Awesome.
Long live Vegas. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matty. Thank you, Motley. Thank you, Look Into Crypto. I mean. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you very much. Okay, guys, so I am going to host Matty in just a minute here. I do want to just, finish up some housekeeping. So Hexican.Vegas, right? Hexican.Vegas. For anyone that wasn't familiar, Matty Allin, he's the one that hosted the Hex Changes Conference. He is also hosting, well, he's not hosting, but he's the one kind of coordinating this idea in the future of a Hexican meetup in Las Vegas, right? So let me just share the screen right quick for one last second, just while everyone can be here, and then we'll host Matty in just a second here. So thank you, Matty, for all you do. But Hexican.Vegas meetup 2021. It's going to be the first Hex mass meetup. So June 24th through the 27th, and then it's going to start off. He's got some information here. There's the final dates. And then the actual first event itself is going to be like the day before event type deal. but it's going to be Thursday, June 24th, 2021. As you can see, pre-meetup and travel day, right? So 4 p.m. Meet at the top of the Strat. And then I guess, 5 p.m. we'll be doing a cheers to Hex. So that's awesome. Gives everyone an hour to kind of get ready to get acclimated. And it's going to be an awesome time. I mean, Maddie's he's put in a lot of work in these conferences and in these events. So I really appreciate all you do, Maddie. You know, you're a great member of this community, and even my brothers, right? I've got 3 older brothers. I'm going to end the stream soon, but I got 3 older brothers, and they watch my streams, and they don't do YouTube videos, but they've always kind of known that I've liked making streams and making things I'm passionate about, and Hex definitely is something that I'm passionate about, right? So it's cool that people like Maddie exist, that's got a damn master's degree in psychology and a whole bunch of other stuff too. And then, you know, thank you once again for Crypto Coffee for coming on board. He's got a what is it, like a little course, like a little introduction type thing, and an education, like I said, course for people to learn. Because the one thing that Richard mentions, and the one thing that even Alan Abit Hecht has asked a lot, is like, what can Hexicans do to help the community, to help the price, to do all of these things? And Richard's answer has always been outbound messaging, outward adoption, sharing it with your friends, right? Because if you've had such an opportunity and such a blessing, right, to be able to have a 362x gain in a little bit over a year, then other people want to see that as well. And so especially with things that are going on economically and financially, hopefully they're ending soon, but we can see that Hex really has the opportunity to change a lot more lives, and it really has already. It changed my life. I've got my girlfriend, my brothers, my dad, my mom. The cool thing, the last thing I'll say is my parents, right? They don't really have like what, 401k as a retirement account. Is that their fallback? Like things like Hex can really be an opportunity against possibly hyperinflation and things like this. So without further ado, we're going to raid Maddie's channel. Let's start the raid here. And last thing I'll say is allmylinks.com/Ballietbrand. I really want to thank you. I really want to thank Motley, Look Into Crypto, Dollar Cost, Crypto Coffee. You guys are the ones that invited me onto this Look Into Crypto, not Look Into Crypto, but this Knights of the Roundtable thing. So without further ado, I'm done talking. We're going to go raid Maddie's channel for the last little bit. And thank you for all you guys do. Appreciate each and every one of you.